podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
Ep1 PCA.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord. Link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Star Trek Discovery Season 3, Episode 1, The Hope Is You.
What a grammatically wrong way of saying that.
I guess they just don't want to sound like Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is the most Star Wars Trek has ever been.
Yes.
It's, overall, the ending is good.
Yeah, shockingly
I like
good.
the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, if you want to watch anything, just watch the last 10 minutes and you're going to be...
Because it makes you feel like the Federation. Because as far as I'm concerned, if there's one person who believes in what the Federation stand for, the Federation lives. Even if it's just one person. That's my personal belief. It is not about having all the ships and all that. If you honestly believe that you're the betterment of the Federation to go out there and discover things and meet new races for mankind to move forward, then the Federation is alive.
Yes, and it doesn't matter, like you said, and again, and that's the true test of someone to do that.
So I like that part. This episode could have been like 30 minutes shorter.
Damn, we're running into the same problem we ran with Discovery in the first two seasons.
Yeah,
way too long.
Look at this landscape. Okay, it's established.
Go on.
It's established. It looks nice. All the planets look nice, but some of the special effects do look a little hokey. Like the big city.
You can kind of see, okay, this budget was slashed. Mm-hmm. It does not look as good as the first two seasons. I'll say that right now.
So we open up with the flashback of last season because that's what you got to do.
It's been a long time.
So they go through the time rift or whatever. They're tripping the rift and they're going through there.
Yeah, tripping the rift.
Remember that show?
Yeah, it's a fun show. It's a little raunchy, but it's funny.
So then we get this opener that's it makes sense at the end because we find out who this guy is, but in the beginning it's like, huh?
He gets up like in the morning.
We see a birdie.
You see a bird at first, like a bird,
and the bird has like the clocks on it.
Yeah.
And then I guess that's like his alarm clock, and he wakes up. Brushes his teeth, goes to the desk, goes to sleep, wakes up, brushes his teeth, go to the desk, and like over and over and over
and the
again.
bird's like a hologram, and it keeps changing every day.
So like, what's the deal?
What's the point of showing this?
It's like 4 minutes long. It's like, what is this?
It's ridiculous.
This is some dude sitting at a desk. Like, first I thought he might have been an android or like a hologram or something like that.
And the thing is, the disc can materialize out of material.
Oh yeah, like it just comes out of the ground.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Like if you got out of your bed would just dissolve into the ground, which is kind of cool. Reminds me of the map in X-Men. Remember, like when they would show like in the danger room?
I was thinking that in the first X-Men movie.
The build. It's a lot like that.
See Statue of Liberty. Yeah, that was cool.
So then we get back to Michael Burnham. This is like, okay, now we're gonna catch up to what's going on. We see two ships fighting, and I'm not a fan of these ship designs.
For the far future, they kind of blew it. It looks like so far.
This other one has a lot of spinny things going on, and the other one literally looks like a flying cheese wedge.
It looks like either a wing or like half a gun. It looks weird. It's a weird kind of like knife shape
or like a boomerang.
Yeah,
kind of like a weird but not like half a boomerang.
Yeah, it looks bad.
And this other ship keeps having these little like spinning turrets, and I guess one person's chasing this other guy. You stole something from me. Oh, it's not yours. And they're going back and forth and they're shooting at each other. Yeah. Then they see a rift open up, a wormhole. Yeah. So that's Michael Burnham. He flies towards it.
Yeah, why does he fly towards it? I don't get that.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. It's so weird.
There's just a temporal distortion thing. Let me fly into it. So he flies towards it. Then Michael Burnham crashes into him. I am no science person. Or what are the speeds that are going on here? How many hundreds of thousands of miles per hour they're going? And they hit each other. And Michael Burnham isn't just like a fly on a windshield.
Not only that, even if he wasn't going that fast, which we don't know if he was, she was going fast. That's for sure. She'd have been squished like a bug.
He's running from this dude. Of course he's hauling ass.
Yeah.
And this is in outer space. So I don't know. This Red Angel suit is made of the most unbelievable.
And remember, he's obviously in a different time. So come on. That would just disintegrate that
So
thing.
she just banks off his ship, and it causes his ship to malfunction too. So they're both plummeting to the planet, and we get a lot of like, she's like, he's saying all this stuff like, thrusters cannot comply. Go to manual controls, and she's like shouting all these things.
Yeah, like even Crimson mentioned it was like Jarvis and Iron Man.
Yeah, I mean, look at this shot. This is Iron Man.
Yeah.
This is the Iron Man suit. And so they go plummeting towards the planet, and then it's like, prepare for impact and all that stuff, and they crash. Everything I just explained was like 9 minutes.
Yeah, this could have been a minute and a half.
It goes on. Everything goes on for a long, long time.
Yeah. You're like, what's going on? Why is this so long?
Then we get a Star Wars scene.
Oh, jeez,
so
I can't stand these.
We see this beautiful vista, and a bug is out there and eats another bug, and it's like...
That's a Star Wars scene, not a Star Trek.
Then they come crashing to the ground, and then she smashes into the ground, which is wonderful. And it's just... I do like the way things look, but it's not very Trek.
No.
And I don't know. She lands, and we get a lot of that cinematic camera stuff. It's all woozy, and it's zooming in and out. And
you get a lot of like where it's above the air, and it's like a
aerial.
drone or an aerial. It's, okay, it goes on for sometimes minutes. Some of these scenes.
So she's climbing out of there, and she's in the rescue armor from with Pepper Potts.
Oh yeah, rescue. Literally, that's what it's called. Is rescue.
Literally what it looks like.
Yeah.
She gets. I guess there's a survival pack. You know, it has like your gun and your rations and all that stuff. And then she, the suit jumps off her, like it automatically just becomes like its own thing. And she's like scanning for life signs, and then it says there are life signs. She didn't say what kind of life signs. Are they just animals?
Or they have high intelligence? What are you talking about here?
And then she starts screaming like an effing maniac.
Oh my goodness.
I know she's like, woohoo! There's people that are alive, but it's a bit much.
Especially from a Starfleet officer.
It's a bit much.
She would be like, oh, okay, what kind of life? I mean, it'd be like, oh, okay.
Ask some more questions.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Woohoo, yeah!
They're trying to make up the fact that Michael Burnham had no emotion, but now we're doing the other opposite. It's extremes, guys, extremes. You don't have to do that.
So then I guess that the wormhole's collapsing. So I guess she sends the armor into the wormhole and self-destructs. Because, it's like Doc Brown, you can't have the time machine, right? You gotta destroy it.
Yeah. And she also finds out what year she's in, the year 31, 80 something.
I know they had to get rid of it because, it's too dangerous to have because this could solve, but would you really destroy it? I don't know.
I mean, I was kind of arguing the same thing, but you made a good point. You can't let it fall in the wrong hands.
Yeah, because these bad guys.
Because you don't know where you're at. You have no idea where you're at. You're just...
Then she has an emotional breakdown because I guess this is the thing her mom worked on. So like it was like destroying the last remnants of her mom. You think? So this is why she
this
is why she falls to her knees and she's like, ah!
Yeah, she's screaming and then she's kind of laughing. It's like, oh, Burnham, my goodness,
she's having a
breakdown.
Then I don't know what they're trying to portray here. She opens up her survival thing. She's like, okay, I got so many rations. I have my phaser, but she's I'm Michael Burnham, Commander Burnham. Science officer on the USS.
She says her number, too.
And she keeps repeating it. That's something... I know, like, with people who, you don't want to say, like, Asperger's or something
like a disability, yeah.
Yeah, and she has to, like, go calm herself down and repeating things over and over again.
But they wouldn't have that in the future. I don't know how many times I have to tell you they cured all that stuff. So stupid.
But it's my superpower. I don't know. It's weird. Remember, but they did it to Spock. They made him dyslexic. But what? Here's the thing. I mix up numbers. I have a mild form of dyslexia. I'm not happy that Spock has that. That doesn't make me feel anything. It's just why.
Well, you wouldn't have it, especially on Vulcan.
Oh, it's because he's part human. That's why.
Oh, that's got to be it. Yeah.
But she notices that other ships crashed, so she's gonna go walk over there.
Yeah. And this is like 11, 12 minutes.
Yeah, but we just went like almost like 15 minutes.
It's ridiculous.
It's a lot of. So we get the opener, and it's modified. You see these little robot guys? I don't like the robot. I don't like robot guys in Trek. I don't like it. That's Star Wars crap. Those are droids.
The thing I don't like about it is I know it's the future and everything is that they too heavily rely on it now in the new Star Trek.
But why do they have eyeballs? Like, why do they look like Star Wars things? I love Star Wars. I love, all the droids and everything, but those droids don't fit.
That was so cool when the friggin' Mandalorian was getting his ship fixed. They had those little robots helping. Like, that makes sense in Star Wars.
I love it in Mandalorian. I love it,
but not in this.
Look at these little beady little eyes. It's whatever.
Awful.
Opener's over. Then we get some more beautiful scenes of the water and everything. She makes her way to where this ship is, and I guess he didn't have it cloaked yet. No. So he cloaks it, and she's like, oh, well, and then he attacks her. But she was walking towards the ship. Where was he?
I mean, there was a big rock, but how did he sneak up behind her? Like, how did
There was like a big rock, but he would have to have seen her from far away. Then as she was walking up, like, scooch around to the other side.
If he transported, that would make sense.
I guess he does have it, but she would have heard it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So they start this fight, and she's able to kind of, like, beat his ass. And
that's a little weird. He knocks the phaser out of her hands.
But here's the thing, though. This is a big guy. This guy looks like about 6'2", 6'3", maybe 200 pounds. He's a pretty muscle guy. She's able to, like, kick his ass.
The thing is, if she was really part Vulcan, it would make sense.
Yeah, definitely.
But she's not. She's not. She's just a regular human.
So that she's trying to talk to him, and during the fight, like, I don't want to hear anything about you, because she's trying to explain who she is, but he doesn't want to know anything. You're here to steal my stuff. It's not yours. You're not getting it. She's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So they keep fighting and fighting. She gets a phaser to his head. He has an knife to her throat, and they're like, okay, on 3, back off.
He goes, what can you do with that antique gun of yours?
Because that would be like someone whipping out a musket.
Yeah.
Or like even like I don't know, it would be even older than that.
Oh yeah, you're talking like maybe like not even a flip.
It would have to be like those ancient, Chinese black powder fire thing, like those ancient
bow and arrows.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Like a crossbow.
Yeah.
So they kind of like back off, and then she keeps trying to like talk to him because she's trying to find a way to contact the Discovery, because she landed. She has no way to make communications because her tricorder does nothing. She got nothing.
Yeah, the communication, nothing's working. Yeah.
So she's trying to talk to him, and they're kind of like at this, okay, I don't trust you, but you don't trust me, but let's not kill each other if we don't have to kill each other. Because you can tell this guy may or may not be like a smuggler, but he's a smuggler with a heart of gold, very Han Solo-ish.
Yeah. I hate to say Han Solo, you're right.
I get a Han Solo feel from this guy.
Yeah, I do too.
Because he's just so handsome. So they keep talking. He's like, okay. And he brings her into a ship. And the ship looks, how do you like the design of the inside? It's very Apple Store.
It's Apple Store-ish. It's so funny because I remember someone was commenting as that his ship looks like, remember in that movie, I never saw it, the one where those kids are doing those simulations, but they're really doing war games against aliens.
Oh, the Ender's Game.
Ender Games. It has that look.
Yeah.
Like the hot screen and everything. So I think that would be the parallel.
And there's like this wall of blinking lights, so I don't know if this has any purpose, but it's just like, it looks cool. And like you said, how the things kind of materialize, that's how the whole like comms array is. Like you put your hand over it and it like...
And then if this is just a smuggler ship, man, this looks pretty advanced just for a smuggler ship, but it gets in the year, 3000 something.
If I brought an SUV back to, Henry Ford's time, they would think that's the most amazing thing in the world.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, and it's just a smuggler ship. I can imagine what a regular ship looks like, starship.
So then, they keep talking and everything, and of course she has no idea. I guess she's still trying to keep it, like how she's from the past, like she's still trying to hide it. But it's kind of easy to figure out because she's like ignorant of everything.
But somehow she knows all the controls. Like, how would Burnham know that?
Yeah, see, like, I guess it would be the basic area. I don't know, but Burnham's just awesome, right?
Yeah.
He has a cat.
Yeah.
That's cute, but a furry animal?
That's not necessary.
I don't know.
And the animal name is Gage, I think? Or
Grudge. Like you have a grudge.
Okay, that was...
You have a really big cat. I'm like... the attempts of comedy in this are bad.
Real bad.
Because later on it gets really like...
Yeah,
that's awful.
It's like, come on, your lower deck's bad. Come on now, you don't need to do that.
So he needs more dilithium, and he needs it because he trades for it. And the only way to get it, the closest thing, they have to go walk to get it. She's like, if you can help me out, since I have antiques, here's a tricorder. Maybe you could trade it. And then like that, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna bring you along, and that's how.
Because what else do you have?
Yeah, but she doesn't have anything but old stuff. But
there's a smuggler, and he's got a Slim Street drive, and this is a smuggler ship. Yeah, that's like experimental back in in like even Kirk in Picard's time.
So they keep walking, and again, a lot of beautiful areas, and then she's kind of poking around about what's going on. He's like, that badge you're wearing, you run into people that are the true believers, but he's like, there's no more Federation, and then she's like. There's no Federation.
I understand that you would be shocked, but she's taking it too dramatically.
It's way dramatic.
You need to tone it down a little bit.
And he's like, what are you talking about? Then she's like, well, what happened? He's like, well, how could you not know what happened? She's like, tell me what happened. Oh, the burn. What's the burn? How could you not know what the burn is? And then you get, come on, stop pushing. What? Just tell us what happened.
Yeah.
So what happened was all the dilithium in the known galaxy went volatile and just boomed.
And remember, every Federation ship has that, so it probably destroyed how many countless ships?
And how many just people have it in facilities?
Oh, yeah.
So basically, all warp travel's no more. There is no warp travel.
For the most part, if you don't have that lithium, you can't warp.
So they have to use a slipstream and everything, so it's super... So, like, that's what happened. So that's how everything got fractured, and he's like... Well, they try to keep things together, but without it being able to connect, and travel.
They got isolated.
Everyone got isolated, and the Federation fell apart.
And then, so how long ago was this? 150 years ago.
He goes, before I was even born.
Yeah.
So, he doesn't know. I'm like, oh, so I guess that's what happened. They also brought up that the Gorns effed up some subspace, like through warpings. I remember that was.
So maybe that's what ignited it. But why would it affect the whole galaxy?
But who knows? Remember the whole the whole thing with the mycelial network that was going to rip apart the universe.
Yeah, maybe this is something similar.
Again, there's an overall environmental message like you don't know what you're messing with.
Yeah, but I don't like it, but so far they're not hitting over the head with it.
It's not too bad.
It's not too. But again, it's only one episode. We'll see.
I don't know how far away the city is, but it must be pretty far.
Yeah.
But they finally get to it, and it looks like garbage.
Yeah. And there's another scene where they're walking with the waterfall. How do they get there?
Yeah. I brought that up when we're looking. It's this right here, where they're standing, and like, how'd they get there?
Because the way they're walking, there's only water there. There's no way. Because that's the rushing water going to a waterfall. You would fall.
Unless they climbed it.
But they didn't say anything.
Yeah, it's super weird. It looks great, but when we stop and think about it, it's stupid.
Yeah, it's silly.
But the city looks pretty terrible. Like
average.
The natural stuff looks fine, but the cityscape, it's not so hot.
They cut the budget. They definitely cut the budget this season. You can tell.
And they get to cyberpunk.
Blade Runner
world, and neon signs and everything, and find a new life on the off-world colonies. It looks just like that.
You see a hologram of an Andorian and an Orion.
Yeah, so it's very bleh. So I guess they're working. Michael Burnham, shut up.
Yeah, he's telling him, be quiet.
They're working together. Stop making yourself stand out, you dummy. You could ask me all these questions some other time.
In the far future, Burnham, just kind of be quiet. Just so you don't need to, be so like.
So this is where the traders are, and he's a courier person who does this whole he's more of a smuggler, but whatever. Let's give it a nice name, right?
Yeah.
So they're getting scanned, and then he's cool, but it scans her, and then I guess she has some of the old school stuff on her. They're like, she's not getting in. Then he's like, she has a lot of antique stuff. There's people here that love to collect this stuff, and you're gonna tell your bosses you didn't let this in here, this big score, and then of course the bosses are watching through the cameras.
And then during, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, he's like a jerk.
Yeah, I mean, she's not coming in.
But the bosses let her in. If it was up to me, I wouldn't let him in. And then, of course, Michael Burnham has to be like, well, I guess you're not in charge.
Burnham, shut up.
Even he says, it's like, do you have to have the last word?
Yeah, it's true. Burnham, shut up.
Burnham, you're gonna get us both in trouble and or killed.
Yeah, you can tell this looks like a kind of a shady place. You can just tell by looking at everything. The
guy was being an ass, but it wasn't to the point where you come just
Burnham, just quiet.
So they're walking through there, and he's explaining how things work. Whenever you get a job, they give you just enough fuel to get the job done.
Yeah.
And that's it. Sometimes you're able to make your own deals. You have to do everything through the Andorians, and you get a cut. They get most of it. You get a little tiny bit of the cut.
No, it's like the whole thing regressed. And we went backwards.
But this is like the Mandalorian. Give me the next job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
It's very Star Wars-y.
But at least they explained it. But still, I don't like former Federation worlds acting like that. I just don't like the whole dynamic of that.
She sees some people just transport. You have handheld transporters now, which is nice, but it's also insto problem solver.
Oh yeah,
let's get out of anywhere.
Well, it's funny because now you don't even need a ship now.
Yeah, you just have it in your hand. It's like a thing that's on you. So I guess that's kind of cool. Then he's like, oh, we're getting to the communication thing, and then they're talking. He's like, okay, I hope you find what you have. Here's the tricorder. She walks thing, and then these things wrap around her. He's like, I need all of your stuff. He basically betrayed her.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And she's like, when I find you, I'm going to kill you. He's like, yeah, good luck, you and everybody else. He has that kind of cool attitude. I like him.
I'm sorry, I do like this character. He's not too bad.
His name's Book.
Such a dumb name.
Is it B-O-K or is it B-O-O-K?
It's B-O-K.
Like you read a book.
I always probably it'd be better if it was Rook.
Booker.
Oh, Booker would be cool too.
I don't know. Whatever his name, Book and Grudge. The names get stupid in the future.
Yeah, I know. It's become detectives from the 1970s.
So he led her into where the vault was to make it look like she was breaking into it. Yeah. So she gets in trouble and she's under arrest. Then we get these two guys. There's an Andorian and who's this green guy?
Oh, that would definitely be an Orion.
Yeah, but they're talking, and this is the funny part.
This is the worst part of the episode by far.
Because they're talking and they start talking over each other.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Which is fine in real life. Because that happens sometimes. But they're like, it's almost like a vaudeville gag. Like, he's the skinny guy and he's the straight.
Well, it won't look like it was a comedy duel.
Yeah.
I mean, almost if you sort of took a little bit more, it would have been a comedy duel.
Yeah, like one of these starts, whoa, and slip on a banana pill.
And if these guys are supposed to be like crime bosses, they don't act like it.
I think they're just part of the smugglers guild people because.
But even still, they act like this?
I don't know. It's weird. It's not funny at all. So they're asking her all these questions and she doesn't have any answers. It's like, where's your ship? It's like, I don't have a ship. Well, how did you get her? Who's the one who brought you here? And she's not answering. Because even though that guy betrayed her, she wasn't giving him up. Which was nice of her, but this dude's going to you don't have no idea what these people are going to do to you.
You have no idea. Yeah,
totally kill you, put you in slavery. You have no clue what's going to happen to you. Then, the absolute most ridiculous thing. This is a lower decks thing.
Yes.
They shoot her in the face with some dust. And then the camera gets all like, no, like, I've been drugged. And then, like, the camera gets all, like, wavy.
Starts fading. Oh, it's the drugs. He's all...
The glass, it was drugged. So that's what happens. And it does that weird, the camera still, she's moving, but it's following her, but it's all distorted.
You remember when times when, in the old Federation, the old Star Trek shows, when they get stunned and then everything gets fuzzy? No, that doesn't do that. The person just falls down. They don't...
But it's like a truth serum, and then she gets all loopy.
Like she's high.
It's so funny.
And it's the worst 5-6 minutes.
This whole entire time, this was me the whole entire time. Whew. Oh my God, when's this gonna end?
I couldn't even look at the screen.
Yeah, I looked away. I'm like, first of all, because the camera movements were making me a little woozy.
But not just how stupid it was.
And she keeps laughing and smiling because when someone gets truth serum, they get all loopy.
Yeah. And then the Bo Ryan's getting mad at the door, and well, you must have put too much in there.
Did you mess with the doses again? I told you not to do that. And it's like a gag, and it's a fucking gag.
Why would you do that?
Wouldn't it have been great if they actually got 2 comedians to play these characters?
Then at least that would have been funnier.
Take it all the way.
Yeah.
So then she starts she gets out of like the ways. Oh no! And she gets starts spewing out all this scientific stuff.
Like she's on speed or something.
And she's talking like this. I'm talking really fast. And I'm like, Burnham, I can't believe this. This has a mixture of this and this. I'm like, oh my God.
And she's literally explaining everything.
Oh my God, this, I can't believe this. What is going on here, man? I got a really cool story to tell, but I can't tell you what it is. Man, I'm dying to tell it. Is anyone laughing?
Oh.
My God, please, in the comments, let me know. Did this make you laugh? Because I would love to meet you and you show me all the things you think are funny, because I don't believe you. I swear ridiculous. To God, nobody laughed at this.
Cringe. It's cringe. It's ultimate cringe.
It's pretty bad, and this goes on, because they keep trying to ask her questions. So who was with you? Oh, it was a guy. He stole something from another guy. He's like a smuggler guy, and has a ship, and it's a time sensitive, and it has a heat signature on it. It must be really important, but he didn't show me what it was. But I don't know who he is. He's one of you guys. He's a courier guy.
And they're asking who, what ship?
His name is I forgot. Like she's trying to remember because she only heard his name like one time. We get back to Book. And Book is trying to sell off those goods from her dilithium. He's talking to some sparkly chick. Like she's wearing everyone's dressed.
Well, funny. Yeah, it's another Orion. You think they'd have more aliens, but it just seems to be Orions and Endorians on this planet.
Because they're the awesomest.
Oh yeah.
So he's trying to sell this stuff on to get some more dilithium. She's like, no deal. I want nothing to do with you.
And he keeps on talking. Goes, well, you stop talking. Okay, yeah. I don't want to deal with you. I'm going now.
Yeah, she's like, I want nothing to do with your crap. Get back to Michael Burnham. She's being all weird and laughing. Look at the faces. This doesn't make you want to punch your laptop, your computer screen, I don't know what. But then she's like, yeah, it's one of you guys. His name is Book. And they're like, oh, they know who that is. So they're going to go get him. Book gets caught by the guy he was running away from. This alien race. I don't remember. Remember?
Oh, yeah, they were. Oh, yeah, I was telling you what they were. They were the people, I don't remember their names, but they were the ones where Worf went to. They're information traders, where he took them to that Romulan planet because he thought that's where his father was at. Those were that race. They look kind of like rat people, kind of.
Yeah, they kind of like a weird beak, and they're kind of goblin-ish looking.
Yeah, that's what they are. But this one's violent. They weren't known to be violent.
But this has been so long.
In the future, so.
Adapt to survive.
Yeah.
So he's like, where's it at, whatever, and then, he gets him the gunpoint. They show up, and Michael Burnham's like, is that the guy? Oh, yeah, there he is. I'm smiling all the time. Then Michael Burnham punches him in the face.
Which he did deserve. I'll give you that. He deserved it.
She does it 7 more times.
Well, that's when it gets ridiculous.
So they whip out their Mega Busters. And if anyone know what I mean, just look up Mega Man and look at the Mega Buster and then look at this thing.
And even I want the music. I mean, what? They look so stupid.
It's a stupid looking weapon.
It's probably one of the worst looking weapons in all Star Trek.
In all Trek history.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. I'd rather them have shock sticks or just regular phasers or regular looking guns, but it's like a fist that you really can't aim because it doesn't have sights or anything. So it's a dumb weapon design.
The only cool part, it comes out and you can materialize it right in your hands. That's cool, but the rest of it's...
Why wouldn't it be able just to lock on?
It's so dumb.
He'd lock on...
So dumb.
But of course, they have to be able to get away. So they're in this big Mexican standoff, which I'm allowed to say because I'm Mexican. The big Mexican standoff, and then they both look at each other and go, oh, wank, wank, and they end up kicking everyone's ass, and everyone misses from point blank range.
And there's about a dozen of these guys shooting at two.
They can't hit them.
No.
Oh god, it's so stupid. So there's this big old shootout, and this whole entire time, Michael Burnham's still all loopy. This is so much fun. He snaps some dude's neck, and I guess.
Yeah, and he killed that guy.
They have this, I don't know.
It was on his belt, I think.
It's like a weird pulse grenade thing, but you have to slam it together like it's the effing Matrix from
Transformers. I was about to say.
Oh yeah, I got the touch. Dun, dun. So it makes like this giant shockwave, and it knocks people down. And I'm thinking, why aren't they using their shockwave mega
on
bombs?
them? I know, right? The weapons in the future so far are ridiculous.
Pretty awful. They're pretty terrible. Margaret Burnham's still all loopy and silly. She notices like look at this face. God Lord. She notices there's some dilithium like on a table. She's gonna go run and get it. There's like a dozen guys shooting at her, and she just jaunts over there.
I mean, she's not even like trying to run fast. She's
or like rolling or anything.
Rolling, no.
She just kind of skips her way over there. And it's like, these guys get it. The stormtroopers are like, oh, come on, man. I would have hit her by now.
But yeah, exactly. Even okay, that's a joke in Stormtroopers, but Star Trek, that was never a thing.
It's always... So she gets over there. Then he gets over there. Then they're like... He's like, okay, promise me, let's work together. And they're just like, what do you mean work together? You freaking sold me out. Then he's like, basically, it's me or nothing. They transport out of there, which he should have probably done.
No, but he uses that pulse thing on them and knocks them through the
the glass. Yeah. Glass. And then... So this thing just knocks you down. It doesn't like, I don't know, blow your damn eardrums out. Like, well, it's just a push of air.
Maybe this is their setting of stun. Maybe.
I guess.
I know. I can't think of. Maybe just it's supposed to just incapacitate you. Yeah.
So they transport out of there and they're by like the river. And guess what she does? She punches him again. Because
okay.
Why
Why would you punch the second time? That's when it's stupid.
But then she does it a couple more times.
Yeah, it's ridiculous,
so
guys.
They keep talking, and he's like, they're going to be on us in a little bit. They're going to be able to track us. They show up, and then we finally see what happens when these things connect. They just destroy you. It's like a Romulan disruptor. Pfft, you're just gone.
Yeah.
So they kill like a bunch of these dudes. I'm like, oh damn, they're just straight up killing people. They keep transporting, but they're able to like keep following.
Yeah, they're going to just keep following. Get to your ship. You gotta.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys all shooting at 2 people, and they can't hit garbage. They can't hit them. And I guess there's a 30-second delay. So I guess that's the only downside to this transport thingy. It has to like recharge.
Well, maybe that's his. Maybe like the ones that the people in starships have probably are instant for all we know.
Yeah, there's probably some.
Maybe he's got the rinky-dink version of this device.
The Fisher Price, my first transporter.
Yeah, exactly.
So then they transport again, and then they're just waiting for these people. And as soon as they transport, they're just dusting these guys.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And when you see the scene, how straight their shots are going. Then how off crazy everyone else's shots go. It's
no, she was shooting like multiple blasts like this in a row. Like, why can't they do that?
I don't know.
I mean, it looked like something out of like you see in Contra.
Yeah, I know. She had the rapid fire
blast. Yeah.
So they just keep trying to transporting around, and they keep getting away. Then I guess they jump off because they got cornered, so they just jump off a cliff, and then they transport as they're falling. They end up like in the middle of the water, and I thought to myself, what if we were breathing in and you transported underwater? Wouldn't all that water just like go into your...
Yeah. That's why you never see anyone transport in the water for that very reason, because it would be...
Or you'd be like, hold your breath.
Yeah, but he didn't say that.
Yeah. So how would the water displacement in you and I wouldn't want there to be a mistake, because imagine if all your lungs just filled with water instantly.
Not that, you don't need to have that kind of heavy surface like around you when you're transporting, because one mistake, you're going to be all disintegrated.
So I guess that transport, since it was underwater, they were unable to follow. They don't explain it, but I guess...
but when you do it underwater, it takes time for them to triangulate your location. 2 minutes of 5 seconds of dialogue solves that.
So we get a little eye candy for the ladies, because they get out of the water and he's like taking his shirt off, and this guy's buff. This guy's got but he still was able to get his ass kicked by this woman who weighs 110 pounds. Okay, whatever. So they keep talking, and then she got shot in the arm, but this thing like disrupts her whole body. But it just cut her.
One of me says she cut herself when she fell through the window.
Yeah, or something.
Well, why did they do that instead of the blaster? Or the Megan Buster cannon, whatever the heck that thing is?
So then we get another Star Wars thing. So this guy isn't human. All this whole time I just assumed he was human because he looks like a human, talks like a human, looks like a human. He's able to do this prayer thing, and he starts to... His head starts to glow.
Oh, it's an alien.
And then he calls out this little, like, I don't know, plant. And it's like, like... a natural healing thing, and it has like this mucus stuff, and he gives it to her here, put it on your wound, and it'll keep from infection.
Well, I'm thinking that's kind of like a Yoda thing.
Yeah, it's a very Star Wars thing. And at this time, why didn't she ask him, so you're not human?
Yeah, what alien race are you? And she never asked him that.
Then he's like, here, and he ties up her wound and everything. So you can tell they're like falling in love, right? Because, so much for freaking what's his face? her old lover in the first season.
Oh, you mean you're talking about Taylor?
Taylor, yeah. She forgot his ass.
He's in the past. He's been dead for 900 years. What are you talking about?
I need me a new man.
A new man.
So he's had this communication thing this whole time.
Yeah, I go, you idiot. Could have just used it.
But he couldn't have trusted her because he didn't know who she was. I understand it, but whatever. She tries to contact Discovery and nothing. And she's like, oh. And then he's like, well, maybe they made it to that planet you were talking about because they were supposed to get somewhere and that's not where they ended up. Then, she's kind of like, if anyone's going to make it, it's going to be my crew. Well, that was kind of cool because Suru's a badass. I love Suru. And he's like, well, we'll just, we got to keep moving. They're going to catch up to us. And boom, they caught up to him. Remember before, you killed 40 of our men, but we're going to keep you alive. Wouldn't they have just killed them?
Well, remember, they needed access to a ship.
But couldn't they have just gone in and hard hacked it or whatever?
Well, yeah, because again, we have to think this is in the future, so maybe they have that, but...
So they get surrounded, and of course they don't fight back, they drop their weapons. And I thought this was really silly. It's like, we need the code to get into your ship. And he gives it the code, and the code is sticky.
Sticky. And they're like, you serious? And he goes, yeah, well, it's my ship, my code.
I know what I thought was going to happen. When they put in the code sticky, it's going to activate some kind of defense network.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too, but it wasn't.
No, it was just, that was the actual
that's
code.
That's how stupid it was.
So, they're going to, then like they open up the ship and he's like, you guys don't want what's in there. Well, we want it. And then it opens up and we kind of see it from a distance and it looks like a pile of crap in there.
Yeah, like what is that?
There goes, it's still alive. I'm like, oh, they're transporting some type of creature. They shoot like near it to see if it's still like up, alive. Yeah. Then it kind of jumps out and it's like a giant slug and it like eats a dude.
At first I thought was that one of the
color-grade things?
Color-grade things from like the past? No, it's a whole new.
It's like a giant slug monster and it looks great. Like the CGI looks really good on this thing. And they're shooting it. Those disruptors were vaporizing people, but this thing can take like 50 of these shots.
Oh, it didn't do nothing.
So like, what the fudge?
No, what I did, okay, like wouldn't it have been cool if they could like put it to max and then somehow it goes like a dust streak that kind of destroyed it?
So they're shooting at it, they can't stop it, it eats a couple of them, the rest of them just run away. Then,
and one of the aliens were one of the people from Warren's people from DC9.
Which is funny.
This is funny. They never talk, even though they're supposed to be all talking. You never see
that was the joke.
Exactly.
Oh, he's always got something he always saying all these insightful things, but we never saw him talk. That's so stupid.
He's about to say something, he doesn't. He's not.
He puts his finger up. So now this killer monster thing is with Book and Burnham and Book, and it's like rearing up and going crazy, and the guy's trying to calm it down. It chomps on Michael. It like eats her, and look at its mouth. Look at all these teeth and all these things, and it didn't kill her. Then he's able to like do his little shaman magic thing, and it like throws her up,
and she goes about 20 feet flying.
So when did all those teeth like? Wouldn't he have crushed her down?
Remember the first episode of Lower Decks with Brad? Same thing when he got sucked in by that monster worm thing.
Yeah, it was a big spider thing that was sucking on him and it was like teething on him.
But at least that was a small spider. This is a big monster.
Well, at least they explained that the thing had no teeth.
This has teeth.
This thing has like
and it ate those other ones pretty quick. Those other bad guys like nothing. Ate them like in seconds.
So I just wanted to suck on some Burnham. So it spits her out. She's like covered in a bunch of like nasty goo. Again, did anyone laugh? Did anyone think this was funny?
It's ridiculously stupid.
Okay, so they save this thing to get onto the ship, and then he started to start talking. This is so funny. So he protects these things. So I guess these things are valuable, and he saves them from people. So that's like his whole thing, is to save these creatures. So I guess they're native to his home planet, I suppose.
I'm assuming because when you go to the planet, there's others like him. So I'm assuming it's
so this thing must be sacred to his people or something. I don't know, which is nice. It's cool, but it's really not important. Then
this is so part. I know he's talking about.
They're talking, and then she's like, "Oh, you're the only one protecting them. I guess without the Federation isn't around anymore, no one can do the protect the Endangered Species Act." Excuse me?
I'm sure the Federation has that, but right now, Burnham, that's your concern?
The Endangered Species Act.
The whole Federation's fall apart. It's falling apart. You're worried about some stupid little Endangered Species Act? I'm sorry, that's not on my list. And how many planets are there? There got to be trillions of animals on these planets. Just one. Who cares if one animal dies? Who cares?
Unless it's like, these species, they on my home planet, they rejuvenate the waters, and that's what saves.
But that's not. But they will never say that.
They never explained anything. Like these people, these animals are very important to our ecosystem, and they're being.
I'm not saying forget these animals, but is that the most important thing? I mean, that's his job, fine. But Burnham shouldn't care about that.
It's a little silly. Yeah. We get
the slipstream drive looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, because they're traveling through the thing. It looks pretty cool. Except for the ship is stupid looking. They get to his home planet. It looks pretty cool, and I guess these other people are there, and I guess this is just in time for their breeding cycle. This is nice, but it's not important. You know what I'm saying? Is it really all that important?
It's not. It's like George and Grace got saved from the humpback whales in Star Trek 4. But at least they saved the thing Earth, okay?
But Michael is like, I don't even know where to look. I don't know what I'm going to do. How am I going to find my crew? He's like, you know what? There's somebody I know that can help you. And this is the good part.
Oh my goodness. This is where it gets really good.
This is where it's like, I felt pride. I felt the Federation pride. There's some derelict station that's barely up and running. And there's a guy behind the desk. Like, that's the guy from the opener.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
And he knows that this guy is like a true believer, right? And then he's like, how may I help you? And it's got like a helper desk. And then she's like, I'm Commander Burnham from the USS Discovery. All these,
and his eyes just light up.
And he's like, he stands up. He's like, Mike, for the Federation. Like, I can't believe it, But he's like, how? She's like, I need you to look for a ship with this designation, this warp signature. You go and he tries to look for it, and nothing. He's like, there's 2 Federation ships in this sector, and that's it.
That's 600 light years away.
And she's like, well, the other sector's like, I can't. There is no long distance communications anymore.
They haven't been for like decades.
He's like, he says he's been on this thing for generations.
Yeah, he's like, he's been on this post for 40 years.
Yeah, he says his grandfather, his father, and now him. And he goes, no one has ever contacted us. So I'm assuming these other...
Are just isolated.
Yeah, everyone's just isolated. Then she's like, jeez. Then she's like, but he's like, how do you not know this? And then she's like, well, I'm a time traveler, kind of, because they're all Federation now. I can spill the beans. I'm a time traveler, and I came from this time period, and, and my ship was right behind me. And he's like, well, quantum physics and everything. She's like, yeah, it can show up in 5 minutes. It can show up in 1,000 years.
Yeah, it showed up yesterday, or it could show,
Who knows?
But I think what it is, it's going to be like a few weeks or a month, because it's just right afterwards. I guarantee that's what's going to happen.
But then he's like, you know what? I just want to tell you that I have been at this station my whole life. My grandfather was an officer. My father was an officer. And then I'm keeping this station going. And I was waiting for the day for another Federation to walk through those doors. And now you made that come true. It's beautiful.
And I thank you. And this is the first time I can say praising Burnham makes sense, because it could be any Starfleet officer in that situation. He'd be doing this. And he goes, and I want you to know, I'm not officially commissioned. I can only be commissioned by an official Starfleet officer. And he's kind of asking her.
He's kind of like, wink, wink.
Come on, do it for me. Like, that was so endearing.
Then he's like, he gets his this little case, and it has the Federation flag. He's like, only a commissioned officer can raise this flag. And since I'm not, and I have stared at this my whole life, and I want it on that wall. I love that so much. Because in this guy's heart, in his soul, it's Federation, and it's just a flag. It's cloth, but it means so much more.
Okay, the fact that this one guy, like you said earlier in the podcast, Federation's everything to him, and it's in his heart, and he wants to be. You are a Starfleet officer. Don't worry about it. You are the environment more than anyone else in this whole series. In 3 seasons, you embody the Federation. In 5 minutes that I've known you.
So he wants Burnham to do it, but Burnham basically tells him that you are a Federation officer. You know what? I need a communications person, and you're going to help me find the Discovery. And will you take this commission? So now he's Starfleet now, because a commander gave him the commission. So I love it. He shakes her hand, and it's beautiful.
The thing right now, if you could see, as me and Crims are smiling, why can't we have more of this in this series? This is incredible.
Not silly. I'm drunk, guys. Just leave the comedy all behind. Don't even attempt it.
Don't need it.
So now they're like, we're few. There's not many of us out there.
And like you were saying, Crimson, that they need each other.
Yeah.
You help me find the ship, and we can get you...
It's because that's what the Federation does.
This guy needs to have a Starfleet uniform. He needs to get a uniform. That'd be so cool.
Why not? She needs a commission and put the badge on him and everything.
He's been asking, come on, you can make me...
But I do like how Book is there like, I ain't part of this. Like, I don't know.
I ain't doing this. But he's going to help. And like, I don't know about all this.
But we see the flag on the wall, and we're gonna do this. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, but that's what the Federation does. And boom, end of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
The last 10 minutes is fantastic.
Oh, my goodness. It brings the episode up to a 5 because the middle was so bad.
And then just the slog.
Yeah.
To get to it.
This was all we needed was about 20 minutes of the first part, and this part would have been fine.
About a 40-minute episode instead of a 55-minute episode.
You could have cut about 20 minutes off of this. Easy.
But yeah, I don't like talking about like the next episode, but they show like a preview for the next episode. Of course, the Discovery gets there, but then like we get banter. It's not any good.
And Giorgio being just annoying as ever. Just she's I'm so cool. I'm so.
Oh, I'm going to like this universe. And of course, she kicks everybody's ass. Oh, the cat's being funny with Tilly. Oh no, I don't like cats. Oh, God, just stop with the funny. Have the cool stuff with the Federation.
Yeah, why can't we just have this guy? We need more people like him. He acted like one of Starfleet officer again. He's never been a Starfleet officer in his life.
Yeah, he's never
he acts like it.
Yeah.
My goodness.
But yeah, well, next Thursday.
Oh, I know.
I like Book. He's a cool dude. And I do like... Oh, but see, here's the thing. We didn't mention this before. What makes it so much better, it's so far in the future, they can't destroy canon.
Yeah, but that's what they should have did after the middle of season 1. Mm-hmm. That's what they should have done.
Something should have happened with the Mycelial Network and it threw him into the future.
Yeah, that would have been better.
And then it should have been here.
Yeah. You didn't have to have the Red Angel. You didn't have to have this other dumb stuff.
All this other crap that was a canon-breaking garbage. Yeah. Now they're so far in the future, you can make up whatever you want.
Yeah, they should have, after that, what should have happened after they left the Terran Empire universe, they should have went to the future in the normal universe.
The dilithium going off, do you think it was on purpose? Do you think someone did that?
Was there might have, but wow, all at the same time.
Like, do you think it was an accident? Like they were trying to experiment with something. Oh my God, like it'd be like, doing some kind of like, every single time they do something, oh, we open a portal to hell. Like they did something on accident.
Might have been like a Doom thing, maybe.
Yeah, and they were just trying to find some new way of warp travel and it cracked and it...
Well, they have to use Slipstream, so then this Sonic has it, so I'm assuming they would have even maybe better, because you would assume that.
But why isn't there no communications?
That's weird.
So again, see, these are the things that are cool. So this is definitely way better than the other seasons.
Oh yeah, but just this first episode's way better than we got. That's why I said it's a 5.
I don't know. We'll see where this goes from here. But it's just, again, the last 10 minutes, excellent.
And they said time travel is illegal, but who's enforcing that?
Yeah.
And the Gorn, the Gorn and the Klingons kind of went together in like the 24th century. So what happened to that alliance?
Who knows?
See, there's all these interesting questions that hopefully we get some answers on, and not Tilly and the cat.
And then there's that other character. She's non-binary. I don't care what you identify as. Please just be a good character. Please, the guy, just be a good character.
The problem is, can you be a good character when that's the first thing I know about you?
Yeah, I know.
It's always bad. It's always.
And does every non-binary character have to have super short hair? Is that like a thing?
I know. Even the Craft had that.
Yeah, it's so weird. Oh, I got super short hair. That means I'm non-binary. It's like a stupid Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to Jet Reno. I can't wait to her. Oh, God.
I got snarkiness. Here's Stamets. I'm snarky.
Stamets, don't be snarky anymore. I liked how you were changing.
I'm snarky. Okay, we get enough snarky people.
Yeah, you're with your husband again. Why don't you guys start being, I don't know.
Be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, see, again, this is every week. Here we go. Then what's after this? What's after Discovery? Is it going to be Prodigy?
Oh, that would be crazy in January. Wouldn't that be something keeps going on and we don't get a break?
Oh well, again, we'll see.